I'm Steve Guggenheim, and this is Traveling with Goose. You can marvel at St. Mark's Square and the canals in Venice, the artwork and beautiful city of Florence, the rolling hills of Tuscany, the incredible historic sites and cafes in Rome, and the breathtaking Vatican. But many travelers in Italy forget about one of the country's most beautiful areas. A trip in southern Italy along the Amalfi coast will dazzle as you view the picturesque towns along the hairpinning drive that takes you up and down the area. My plan was to fly to Naples, rent a car, and travel through the region. But I was talked out of doing the trip on my own. A number of people said the driving was dangerous, and I would be too busy concentrating on the road instead of the scenery. I thankfully took their advice and went with a tour group. The hairpin turns come one after the other. While in the oncoming lane, you're dealing with motor scooters, cars, trucks, and buses. The driving is so treacherous, I don't even think they could run a road race there, though I must say taking a sports car around the area could be a lot of fun, but you certainly wouldn't be hitting the accelerator too hard. The reason for the trip, though, is the scenery, which dazzles at every turn. Make sure to take an extra camera battery. We began our stay at the Raietto Hotel in Via Trasumare, a luxury hotel overlooking the town of Salerno. Make sure to pay extra for a room with a view. You've already spent enough on the trip, and the extra dollars are more than worth it. In fact, the best extra money you'll spend on the trip. Otherwise, you could be facing the back of the hotel instead of a picturesque view. You could be looking at a view of garbage cans and service vehicles. Before going to bed, we would sit on the balcony, pinching ourselves at how lucky we are as we looked at the town ahead of us with the brightly painted buildings, fishing boats, and kayakers. We would do the same before starting our day. The town of Via Trasumare, where the hotel is located, is a short cab ride away from the hotel. It is very cute with beautiful alleyways and shops, most specializing in pottery, with several nice restaurants such as La Sosta and Ivu. There are plenty of other places to stay in the area. You may prefer basing yourself in one of the larger towns to take more advantage of the local culture, since while beautiful, the hotel is rather isolated. On our first full day in the region, we were taken for a long ride along the coast. One of our first stops was the town of Sorrento. To me, this is the most beautiful place in the area, and the next time I go, I'll use that as a base. It is along the seaside with beautiful restaurants and stores. But the place to really go after a nice gelato is a maze-like area a block off the main street. You can easily get lost as you're dazzled by quaint street after street, shop after shop. Make sure to bargain for whatever you want, whether it be clothing, leather goods, perfume, or the many other items for sale. The bargaining is simple, not like the frenetic sales in Pompeii or other tourist areas such as the beaches of Acapulco. Make an offer, get a lower price, and walk away with a nice item. From there, it was a relatively short ride to the town that gives the region its name, Amalfi. This is a much smaller town, quaint shops and restaurants, and a beautiful church with 67 steps up a hill from the busy seaside. Another day took us to Salerno, a short ride from our hotel. From there, we boarded a ferry and headed through the Bay of Naples to the island of Capri. The Italians actually pronounce it Capri. We made several stops along the way before seeing Mount Vesuvius, which signals you are about to arrive on this beautiful island, vacation spot to the rich and famous. We did not get the chance to visit the Blue Grotto, a cavern where the sea glows electric blue due to the sunlight hitting the area. You have to hit the weather just right to get the experience. As in most towns, the seaside area is frenetic with people arriving and departing, tourist shops, restaurants, amazing views. One of the first things that I laughed at are the scores of four-door convertible taxis that dart over much of the area. The island is divided into two towns. You take a funicular to get to the town of Capri. Shops and restaurants galore, along with a long, narrow walk to the botanical gardens built by the Krupp family, the German company that made its fortune in munitions sold during World War II. Sweeping views of the sea will take your breath away. Five-star hotels along the way include the Capri Tiberio Palace. A walk into the lobby tells you money is no object when you stay there. Anna Capri is located above Capri and has its own mayor and government. Anna means upper or above in Greek, as the Greeks were among the first to discover the island. It is quieter, with hiking trails and a one-person ski lift to take you to even greater views. But don't expect to use it unless you want to wait in line for an hour. As you walk through the narrow streets, you'll discover specialty tailor shops, shoemakers, and other stores willing to make whatever you want in just a short time. A not-to-be-missed visit while in the area is Pompeii. It is an easy drive from the coast. The town was destroyed by ash from Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD and is now a well-preserved archaeological site. There are enough structures left to give you an idea as to what life was like in this thriving area. You walk into what would have been wealthy homes as well as shops and other structures. There are plenty of other places to visit. One of my favorites was a mozzarella factory. Water buffaloes are the stars. As the guide tells you, a happy water buffalo produces more cheese. They play Mozart since the animals like the calming music. The buffaloes can cool down any time they want, since around the barn are soft mist showers. Sore from meandering around, they go to one of the large spinning cylinders and get a massage. Once they're ready to get rid of the cheese, so to speak, the animals head over to the self-milking machine. If time allows, visit a limoncello factory and sample varieties of the famous liqueur. Another top spot is a winery on Mount Vesuvius. They serve a delicious 4-course lunch with 4 different wines. Almost everyone walks away with at least a bottle of wine and vinegar made on the property. A trip to the Amalfi coast will delight your senses as you see a part of Italy too many people forget about. The biggest problem I had upon returning home was cutting down on the number of pictures I took. I'm Steve Guggenheim, and this is Traveling with Googs.